Hello everybody, Anish Majumdar here, career coach to the fiercely ambitious, back at you today with a video that I hope really causes you to rethink how you're approaching the business of moving ahead, landing new career opportunities, landing a new job, wherever you are right now. The word pushy has a really bad connotation, doesn't it? Right? Almost no one wants to be thought of as being pushy, right? Definitely not as a go-to characteristic. You know, you don't want to be that one where it's like, yeah, they hustled, they grinded, and they made that happen, because there's something artificial and ham-fisted about it. And yet, let's be real here. I feel like in a very real sense, when you're in a job search, if you're not allowed to be pushy, and of course, why are we looking for a job? We want to make an impact. We want to get paid. We want to get out of this a rough situation. We need financial stability. We need purpose, whatever that is. It's usually an urgent priority, right? So if we can't express that urgency in a way that makes sense within the context of a job search, then aren't we always at war with being honest? Because how can I know that it's like, look, time's running out. I need to be hired within 3 to 4 weeks max right now, no matter what's there. And at the same time, I can't express that. Because if I do, I'm a pushy job seeker, and that pushes people away, right? So a weird catch-22 that sort of emerges there. And many people struggle with it. Many people anguish over it. And the purpose of this video is I want to show you a different way of thinking about this that'll allow you to reconcile this. And yes, I'm making it the crazy proclamation right now. This way will allow you to be quote unquote pushy in a way that is productive and that moves it towards an outcome. So let's talk about this for a second. When people say, I didn't like her, she's qualified and all of that, but I don't know, man, she was kind of pushy, wasn't she? You know what I mean? Like kind of all over the place, like really just, I don't know if I want to deal with that, or if it's like, he was good. He had a great presentation, and clearly there's a lot of people who want to, work with him, and we'd be lucky to work with him. But I don't know. I don't like that hard sell approach. You know what I mean? I don't like that. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Okay, when people say that, usually what they're coming to in their minds is, here's a person who ultimately it's more about them than anything else. At the end of the day, I can't trust that you're going to be honest with me, or that you're going to make the necessary sacrifices, whatever it is, because at the end of the day, it's about you. It's about getting yours first. And that's not something that I can trust, right? Ultimately, the pushy thing is an erosion of trust. It's a thing that says, oh, okay, I gotcha. I was having like a good conversation with a salesman on the car lot until they realized that there was no way that I can buy. Then they became Lucifer, right? So that's your defense mechanism there. Here's the different way to think about it. What if the reason that you were being pushy had nothing to do with the fact that you need a new job, even though you do, or you need to get paid, even though we do, and everybody does. There's no shame in that whatsoever. What if it wasn't about that? What if the reason you had that pushiness inside of you is because you had already seen the truth of what these people were experiencing, this company is experiencing? You'd already become invested in some degree, meaningfully, in terms of taking ownership of solving it. And now you know that if you were already on the clock, you would never, ever, if your reputation was on the line, right? Like, let's say, I tap you on the shoulder and say, boom, whatever your dream income target is, you have it. Whatever your dream role is, title, however you want to sketch it out, boom, it's theirs. Just make that impact happen, start right now. And oh yeah, by the way, we have a 5-alarm fire here. Good luck, that's what we're paying you for, okay? Go to it. If that's the situation, would you ever just let a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks go by to get approval from other people? Would you ever, if someone said, oh, you desperately need to hire 3 or 4 people as part of your team, otherwise you'll never get there? Well, we have a hiring freeze, because of the pandemic. So you know how it is, and you would never accept that, right? And when you would make a stand, it wouldn't be because you're frustrated, not if you knew what you were doing. It wouldn't be about you're frustrated, you feel worried, whatever. It's about the objective, right? It's about what we're looking to do. You can be as pushy as you need to be as long as it's in service to what must happen. And that's the key, guys. That's the key that is going to allow you to be as aggressive as you need to be in a hiring situation. As long as your main focus when you're exploring an opportunity, and whether that's initiating dialogue, and that's what I recommend to my private clients all the time. I teach them a system where they are systematically, routinely, almost boringly dialoguing with the right people, high-level leaders who are feeling the pain of what you solve. Whether it's that way, whether it's another way, whether it's like you just, you became aware of an opportunity and you decided to pursue it. Objective number 1 for you should always be to find out what is really going on there before you say word 1 about pitching yourself, presenting yourself. Because with that information, it's going to allow you, among other things, to have that urgency. Look, it's not about me. It's about the fact that we have a couple of months left in this year, and we've just given up 3 months of prime business development for nothing, right? Like we couldn't do it. Our hands were tied behind our back. Well, our hands aren't tied behind our back now. And if we're going to have any hope of meeting the minimal targets in 2020, and by the way, setting ourselves up for 2021, 2022, then there are aspects that we need to get started on right now. And I'm very sorry, but this is not a wait until interview 3, 4, 5 type situation. That is not what we are dealing with right now. I've been speaking to leaders every single week about this problem, and not a one of them that are committed towards solving it. And several of them have already taken major steps towards doing just that. They're the smart ones. They're going to be ahead of this curve. Not a single one where I can look at it and say, this is going to work, has come with that level of thinking. So I'll make myself available, but we've got to move on this now, right? That's pretty pushy. But how can you judge me when I'm emotionally invested and my urgency is coming from a place of wake up, wake up, wake up. We gotta go. We gotta move. Are you serious? I'm taking you at face value. Are these the goals, or are you just BSing yourself? If you're BSing yourself, by all means, keep doing what you're doing. If you're not, let's move quickly. Let's do this quickly, right? So that's the key, guys. When you need to get an employer off the fence, excuse me, when you need to get an employer off the fence, when you need to stand up for yourself in that last interview, when they try to play some tricks with you in the written offer as opposed to what was verbally agreed upon or nearly agreed upon, the pretext of all of this should be, we need to get started. These are the aspects that we need to get started on right now, and let's take care of this housekeeping so that we can make that happen. But let's not get caught on this one main point. Let's get going. That's the number one biggest piece of leverage that you're going to have, and it's impossible for you to be, you may be called pushy, but now it'll be pushy in a good way. It'll be pushy like, my doctor saw that I had a serious illness, and he or she would not let me BS myself until I had made a commitment towards seeing it through and getting healthy. And now I'm healthier than I have ever been in my life. That's the kind of leader that we need desperately right now, by the way. And plugging into this line of thinking is going to do it. And before I hop off here, let me just give you a couple of ways to reinforce this, okay? Write down all of the ways where for the companies you're targeting, the industries you're targeting, standing still is exactly the wrong move. And just write it down. Get it all out there. The more, the better. Every reason. I want you to look at that, and I want you to read it back to yourself, and I want you to speak it back to yourself. So it's a working reality. These are all of the ways in which people doing amazing stuff, they're getting sabotaged because they don't have someone like you to solve it, okay? So why are all the ways why your target industries, companies, however you visualize it in your mind, what are all the ways that them standing still, keeping their heads in the sand out of fear because they don't know what's around the corner instead of taking care of what they can is a mistake? Next, What are all of the ways in which you make a difference in these companies? Forget about titles. Forget about commercial ops versus marketing versus, just if I'm there, I'm writing you a check right now, okay? For the next 12 months, this is your dream salary, your dream compensation, here's the equity, whatever you need. Boom, it's there. You have one mandate. At the end of the year, I better see an order of magnitude more value in terms of where we've gone than afterwards. Otherwise, you're out. That's it. Simple. No performance reviews, no BS like that. Can you deliver, and what are all the ways that you can add value? If you could go in any direction, you could collaborate with anyone at this company. You had limitless resources, you had limitless people, you had limitless buy-in. What are all of the ways that you can add value? Write all of that out as well. And then finally, okay, ask yourself, what are all of the reasons why now, right now, this instant that you are taking this video, is the first, best, and only time towards getting started on that. And write all of that out. This is your ammo. This is what's going to allow you to be quote unquote pushy without it being judged for it or being distanced for it. This is how you're going to hold people's feet to the flames as necessary so that they will make the necessary changes necessary right now to make that change happen. And that's the truth of it, isn't it? Those who move quickly in disrupted times are the ones who are going to win beyond all else. And that's exactly what we've seen, guys, by the way, throughout this year. The people who have the courage to act and move boldly, to do different and boldly, are the ones who are succeeding radically. You wanted that opportunity, right? Where you could leapfrog up. You wanted that opportunity where you could jump from 150 to 200, maybe even 250 in one stroke. You were looking for that opening. Well, you may not have been thinking whatever, pandemic. You may not have been thinking industry recession. You may not have been thinking people laying people off. But this is exactly the call to courage. This is exactly the moment where you can step forward and get everything that you've ever wanted, because the pain is also the most intense that it has ever been. Where pain goes, opportunity also flows. Understand that. In hiring, the two go together like this. So if you are willing to be incredibly bold right now, if you are willing to stand up for you, your family, and what your ultimate dreams are, and you're willing to play big, I encourage you to go over to helloanish.com right now. It's HELLOANISH.com. I have queued up a masterclass there that starts at the top of the hour that is going to teach you exactly what I teach my masterminders to get them out of the job search trap entirely, get them out of this thing where you're spending most of your time to get on the radar of gatekeepers who couldn't care less about you anyway. Risk averse, fear, and getting them into a place where you're dialoguing with the right people, using a system that you control and can scale up at will. And you do that, it is game on in this environment. It is endless opportunities in this environment. And your big problem isn't anymore, can I get something? Can I please, will they get back to me? It's out of this universe, what's the right choice for me, okay? So if that's you, I encourage you to go over to helloanish.com right now. It will be the best time that you have spent working on your career in a very, very, very long time. All right? And it's worked for over 1,600 others to date, by the way. So if that's you, hop on over there. Either way, I thank each and every one of you for taking this training. I thank each and every one of you for having some fun and jumping in that way. And just remember, what I'm teaching you here about being pushy, you can apply a different way of thinking to so many other things. So when you look at today's limitations, realize how much of this can be changed, okay? And if you're at the point of action, helloanish.com is where you need to go next. Talk to you soon.